Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Drag the Lake. I'm your host, Andy Malafrina. With me, as always, the late, great Pat George. Pat, how the hell are you?
Andy, I am the luckiest boy in the world because right as you started the countdown, a group full of motorcycle dickheads fucking stopped right at the stoplight right by my house. So we got a proper 21 douche salute right at the beginning.
21 cunt salute.
Dude, I just bought this hoodie and I love
give us a show. This is not Pat type hoodie.
No, most of the elements on here. Okay, so most of it is Pat, right? Like there's hold on.
Wait, are you selling crystal meth in Breaking Bad? Why do you look like Jesse Pinkman right now?
this is my
Are you selling methamphetamines with your high school science teacher in New Mexico?
This is New Mexico chic, but I got there's a pineapple, which I love. This is basically like a patterned shirt. This is like a patterned shirt orgy. Yeah. It's got everything. It's got flamingos on it. By the way, dude, did you know the upside down flamingo is the international sign for swinging? No, and there's a ton of upside down flamingos on this fucking hoodie. It's so I want to be approached.
No, it's a pineapple.
Pineapple's the same thing. Oh, it's upside down pineapple, but the flamingo is also a symbol of that. And then but it's got everything that I love. It's also got mushrooms on it somewhere. But all of the things I love, but then also motorcycles. And I really don't fucking give a fuck about motorcycles. But I was like, 4 out of 5 ain't bad. I'll take it. Cozy. I call this hoodie, Andy, I call this look right now, I ripped the vape pen a little too hard before strolling into Walmart Supercenter.
Is that where you got it from, Walmart?
$19.99, no boundaries, baby. Whoa. Whoa, there's the mushroom. Oh, look at that.
Oh, there it is. I thought that was like a basket.
This is for random.
I thought just randomly there was a basket on there.
This is if you're swinging at Burning Man, you get the upside down mushroom.
God, you really do look like a white drug dealer in a fucking like one camera FX show.
Me wearing this hoodie definitely gives off the wrong vibes. I do not match the energy of this hoodie.
You're not that. I love it. You're not that hoodie even a little bit,
dude. I'm usually, so it's funny. It's actually really funny that this point is brought up because
Pat, I gotta be honest. That hoodie sucks, but it doesn't. It's this weird like middle ground where it's like working for you,
dude. I listen to my wife.
It fucking sucks, but also so it doesn't fucking suck in a weird way.
I don't get it. It's got like weird like bike chains on it and shit like that.
You know what it is? Because like knowing you, you're like, I know you like put it on and you like look in the mirror and you're like, woohoo, yeah.
This is new Pat. It's new Pat time.
Yeah.
I'm moving into my dickhead era. So
now you're doing that?
Yeah, just now. Yeah, I figured it goes well with the mustache. But Dominique told me that she's like, no, it looks good. I was like, okay. And I was like, I trust her. But also I was thinking like, I was like, man, this kind of goes back to a thing that I go to where like, we're making fun. I just wanted to bring up the point that I was very aware that this is a fucking weird sweater, but I usually hate, and this actually brings me up to a point I wanted to ask you a question. We're starting right off the bat at this episode of Drag the Lake. Do you ever notice when things get like so liberal that they get kind of like super, like actually kind of more racist?
Yeah.
Like,
or they turn into, yeah. The perfect example for that was in Portland, which is the mecca for that horse shit. There was these 2 white ladies who had like a taco cart, and dude, they even literally like went to Mexico, learned how to like make tacos, like fucking make them and shit like that.
Yeah.
and they like knew how to do it, and they came back to Portland and they were making tacos, and all the people in Portland were like, no, this is cultural appropriation. Which I sidebar on this conversation, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's a good thing as long as you're like it's a good thing. We all mix each other's when it becomes a bad thing is when like, you know, fucking corporations get a hold of it and they kind of like sell it and it just becomes cringy. But it's like, I don't know, dude. It's fun when you mix and match and stuff like that, and you get a little. How would we get Limp Bizkit to bring it back to music? How would we get Limp Bizkit without cultural appropriation? And I don't know how it gets beyond that conversation. You just go, people go, cultural appropriation's bad. Limp Bizkit. All right, I apologize. I'll shut the fuck up. That's how it should go every fucking time. You see Limp Bizkit, you realize cultural appropriation's a good thing, you shut the fuck up. But no, these like, fuck it, Pat. How you gonna start the episode off being like, Andy, what do you think about stupid fucking liberals? I might have a thing or two, Pat. But
I did have a point. I promised I had a point.
Pat, we got time.
Okay. No, I was just saying, like, it wasn't just to get riled up. I wanted to get you riled up. I knew that was a loaded question for sure.
I know. I'm being funny, but we got time.
Andy, I'm really sorry. I just wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. I'm just really sorry.
Okay. I just want to say,
Andy,
what I want to say.
Okay.
No, but yeah, so these ladies, they go to Mexico, they learn how to make tacos, they come back to Portland, the fucking dickheads in Portland are like, you're cultural appropriating it, you're not allowed to make tacos. So essentially they're like, no, only Mexicans can make us our tacos. And you're like, and then dude, another great example was, I forget the name of the play because there were these people who did this performance of this one musical at the Macy's Day Parade a while ago, and I don't remember the name of the musical. You want to know why? Because the only news article I saw about that was about how there was a lesbian kiss, and they were trying to go like be all progressive and stuff like that. But it's like, you guys realize you're being fucking dumb jocks, because all you're doing is, the only thing you're talking about is you're like, yo, two lesbians fucking kiss. That rules, right? Like, that's all you're focusing on. I read a couple articles. Not one article was like, song was pretty good too. They were just the whole time being like, yo, these fucking lesbos kissed. It was sick. But like, they're trying to be all progressive about it. But yeah, the circles, you start to go like full circle where it's actually, a lot of it's actually super racist, but they do a bunch of like mental gymnastics that kind of like try to avoid the topic. It's really, bro, I've been on this. It's, you know, it's really just about fucking controlling how you think about stuff so unimpressive people can be in charge. But anyway, Pat, I've been talking enough. What's your whole thing on this?
But I was
Andy, how do you feel about liberals? All right, I'll be back in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, I actually just hit mute and just started farting that whole time. The whole time I was like, I got a big one chambered up. I need about 40 solid minutes. No. That would be a good moment to be like, I have a real big pile of shit in my pants to clean up. I'm like, Andy, how you feel about liberals? I'm just like wiping shit. Like, I'm just like, what's that go on? What's that?
Shout out Brock in the chat. I came into Lesbos Kiss. Yeah, dude.
Hell
you
yeah,
fucking
dude.
hopped in at the right point. But Pat, what's your whole thing on this?
My point was basically just saying, like, because I was mocking my own hoodie that I was wearing, and I usually hate that when I see like comics that are just like, I know what you're thinking. The guy wore the shirt, and then just like rip on the shirt. But I'm just like, you could have just not worn the shirt.
Oh, that's the most fucking annoying thing ever.
There's a podcast I was listening to that like they do like at least like 2 a week, and they always have a guest on each one, and they always joke about like, you know, it's always the same 12 white guys. We need to have more, like, they're saying it to be more progressive, but they're saying less white guys, more women and blacks. And it's just like, and you're just like, all right, like, you know, you're okay. But then also, like, if you're saying that there's too many white dudes on the podcast, like, just stop podcasting.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone's because they are liberal, like they are more liberal, but like they do get into like white knighting a little bit like that, and where they're just like, white guys suck, right? And it's like 4 white guys on the podcast, and you're like,
yeah. And it's like, you guys know you can kill yourself, right?
Right. It's the same thing I feel like about the shirt of like, you put that shirt on, you dickhead, so you could tell that joke. I put this on. I bought this shirt, Andy, 100%. Well, not I wasn't sober. I I
You
bought the
never
shirt
are.
of clear state of mind, asterisk, Pat style. I love pattern shirts. I absolutely, and this is like every pattern shirt ever that has ever existed. If there was some Chinese lettering on here, I would be set. But it says magic on there, which is pretty cool because like mushrooms.
Where does it say magic?
I can't. I lost. Oh, here. No, that yeah. It's the beginning of it. It says magic, but it's like the seams right there. So hey,
I
oh hey,
wanna be
stainless here.
I wanna be in on the fucking design meeting of how they got to that fucking hoodie.
Literally, they're just like, these designs don't work on shirts by themselves. Let's try them all fucking together.
You know what always you know what always annoyed me about like the fucking what always annoyed me about like Walmart and places like Kohl's and stuff like that is it always I was like there has to be like I don't know I maybe like I from an early age I read into things way too much because I was like there has to be even at a young age in fucking like middle school I'm like
Oh, damn it, dude.
because I always wanted cool looking clothes but my parents would only ever take me to Walmart
Yeah.
and Kohl's to get
Same.
clothes for school and those clothes would always be close but like they'd be noticeably different. And I'm like, I'd be thinking about like there was this one company at Kohl's all the time. Or you said what's the fucking Walmart one like Boundaries?
Yeah, no boundaries. Or,
No
yeah, I think it's,
Boundaries.
or
The
like
one
George. That
yeah,
one other George.
George. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the one at Kohl's would always be like Urban
No
Pipeline.
relation. Sorry.
The one at Kohl's would always be like Urban Pipeline or whatever.
Yeah,
It
it's like,
doesn't matter. Whatever the company was, and then you'd see they would whatever the style was, they would have a shirt that would look in the ballpark, and then they would always just like they'd get 80% there, and there'd always just be something about it that just made it look obviously the shitty version.
yeah.
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just like steal the idea
Yeah.
and then make
You're
it
so close. Just do it.
just they made it's like when you watch a movie based off a book and they fuck it up and you're like
Yeah.
you already had the script.
The whole
They
story
already
was there.
they already and dude and also too even when they fuck up a comic book movie and it's like they storyboarded it for you too. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like it's the same thing with the fucking shirts. They already made the fucking shirt. Just
Yeah.
redo that, but make it just make it on shittier material. Like that's actually I'll give Walmart props because like their George and their No Boundary stuff is actually does like a decent job of looking like the more expensive shit.
Now.
But the problem is, they're fucking like $5, $6, $7 shirts. So you run the risk that like I ran one time is I bought 3 shirts there one time. They were just like solid color fucking George shirts. 2 fucking fit great. 1 randomly small as fuck. But like they're fucking $5 shirts. So I have to accept that sometimes they're going to be irregular because you have to have lower quality control if you're going to be pumping out $5 shirts.
Yeah. This one, I feel like like the shittier quality shirts have definitely stepped up in rank. Like back in Florida, we have Bells, which is like basically like Gabe's or like Marshalls. Like we also had Marshalls and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
I discovered that later on in life, but early into my my punkdom, when I started like cutting sleeves off and I fucking cutting pants into shorts, like I used to love to get old man pants from the thrift store and cut them into shorts or whatever. My mom would get pissed off anytime I did that. Okay, so 2 quick things about school clothes. My mom early on got pissed down with my clothes, so she said,
Can
"If
you
you're
say
gonna
that again, you broke up. Say that again.
My mom used to get really pissed off when I would like fuck with my clothes, like cut the sleeves off or sew patches or anything like that. So she said, like early on, she's like, "Hey, if you're gonna be doing that, you need to be buying your own clothes." So like early on, I was buying clothes from like thrift shops and shit like that.
Yeah.
But get this privileged shit. Dom, my wife, I've
met her.
She used to go school shopping. Her dad would take her school shopping. Get this, at fucking music festivals. They used to go to fucking Warp Tour, and he would be like, "All right, well, these are your school clothes for the like." She would go to school shopping at fucking the mall for like jeans for bottoms, and then for tops, she would go to fucking Warp Tour, like
Wait, do you mean
98 or
literally
rock,
Warp Tour? Do you mean literally Warp Tour? Because
literally Warp Tour.
here's how old's your wife?
She's 1 year younger than me. She's lady never says.
What's her? How much does she weigh? No,
Her social is hold on. No, she's gonna be 36 this year.
there was a what the fuck? Sorry, I was just remembering. Never mind. I was about to. You know what? I was about to fuck it up. How old is she and what does she weigh and what's her social and what are her turn on and turn offs?
1 year younger than me.
Okay, yeah, 1 year younger than you, 3 years older than me. So she was going to Warp Tour where, because you said privilege, dude. Like I remember Warp Tour was fun as hell because you could go there and like clean up, dude. Because I remember I was one of those kids who would go to Warp Tour with enough money to get like 2 or 3 t-shirts. So I'd be like, I'm just gonna get dehydrated today. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then but like, dude, you could get I remember getting like a dope Enter Shikari tank top for fucking like $15. Like it wasn't crazy. Now shit's a lot more expensive now, and I don't think it's the band's fault. Like everything's more expensive. Like that was fucking I was going to Warp Tour what? 15 years ago, and everything was a lot cheaper back then. I remember fucking a pack of cigarettes was probably like, if I got American Spirits when I was in college, when I was smoking those regularly, those were like $6.50, $7. Now, where I live in Jersey, they're probably like 11 or $12. So that gives you context on like inflation and shit like that. But yeah, dude, like if you went Warp Tour back to school shopping, you actually probably not going crazy money wise. Yeah. And on top of that, I remember you'd be able to get like so much extra and free shit. Like they'd be selling the Warp Tour comp for like $5. I remember I did some. I won this T-shirt. Actually, speaking of cigarettes, I won this T-shirt from what was the no smoking thing when we were younger? What the fuck was it?
It was hold on. Oh, damn it. Truth,
yeah, because they always tried to make it cool and stuff. I had this purple Truth shirt that I wore for a while until I got too fat for it.
They had really comfy merch. I will say they gave out because they wanted to spread the word a lot.
The Truth shirt was the Truth shirt was like the softest shit ever.
Yeah, it was like one of the most comfortable. I remember they speaking of like cigarettes and youth giveaways, but every time I used to go to like bars and shit like that I don't know what it was for the longest time. I don't know if you guys were doing this up here too, but for a long time, cigarette companies like Camel or Cool, I feel like Cool and Camel were the ones that did it the most. Never brands that I always smoked Marlboro, but it was always they were handing out free packs of cigarettes to everybody in the bar, and they wanted to do it as fast as they could. So like they couldn't give you more than one or whatever, but like anybody that you were with, even if they didn't smoke, could just sign up, and they're like, yeah, we'll just send you coupons or whatever. You can cancel anytime, and we'll just give you a pack of cigarettes. And they were like, what do you mean?
When was this?
Say? When I was still like, this was like peak, this Warp Tour time, probably, your 2009s. I don't know how old I was legally. They weren't able. I mean, I had to be.
I've never experienced that type of heaven and beauty in my life.
It was the greatest. Like, dude, because no matter what, right?
Forcing cigs on you.
If you're like and no matter what, like if you smoked, I smoked menthols, but if you didn't smoke, like whatever type they would have lights, or they'd have regulars, or they have menthols, but they were like some weird new kind of cigarette they were marketing, and they wanted people to try them, so they're going out to bars. And dude, it was like there was like a rash of that for a while, and it was like the greatest when you saw them with those little tablets, and they're just like, oh, just give me your address and how long you been smoking, okay, and then you just go like give you a pack of cigarettes, and you're in a bar. You didn't have to leave the bar, and you got a free pack of cigarettes, dude. It fucking blew my mind.
That was probably like the greatest relationship, because you have because like
they would feud with
the
Truth. By
second-
the way, that's why I brought that up.
because like I never. Okay. I never. I'm at a point now, luckily, where like I never like sober. I never have an urge to like smoke a cigarette. But like once you get, once you get like 3 or 4 beers in, you might be at the bar, and if you see your friend pop out, you'd be like, hey, "Can I get one of those?"
Cigarette, and then you're like,
So,
any cigarette,
dude. You have a bar chock full of people who like. The second they start drinking, they're like, "Yeah, dude, I'm gonna start fucking chain smoking," and then they're just giving out free cigarettes. Dude, that's dude. Florida
first one's free. Like literally, every time I said that, I was just like, these are like the most notorious drug dealers because they're just like literally the first one's free. What do you like? Menthols? Here's the fun ones that you can crunch, and then they make. You remember those? You get a little crunch. And
dude, the little ball. Oh my god! Every like 4th cigarette, you'll be like, maybe we do menthol.
A little treat.
Oh, this is my dessert. This is my dessert cigarette.
It was because it tasted like Andy's mints. Oh, that's awesome, dude. We get each other so much.
I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I'm in the Olive Garden, baby. Woo.
I had my breakfast, lunch, and dinner cigarette. Now it's time for dessert.
Now I get my num num treat.
I've been a good boy.
when you're for sure like, so I would those people, and I would also kind of like side with them because I love if you really made them laugh or you like made their night, they would throw you an extra pack of cigarettes. But they would feud at Warped Tour. They would feud with the Truth people. They would just like stand near them. So
wait. There's people giving out cigarettes at Warped Tour?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember because I'm pretty sure that's where I first experienced.
That just doesn't sound like Warped Tour to me. It just doesn't sound like something Warped Tour would do, especially like it
may have been outside. It may have been outside in the line. It may have been outside. Like that may have been just brilliant marketing.
Yeah, even in like the 90s when Warped Tour started, I couldn't see them like getting a cigarette sponsor. You know what I mean?
No. They weren't like that. I don't think they were like these people. Like they like when they went into the bars and stuff like that. They weren't because they're not selling anything. They don't have to get permission. They were just giving that shit away. Like they would check your ID, they'd scan it, they'd like scan it through their little tablet, and then if it worked, they were like, okay, cool, you're of age. And then boom, here's your cigarettes. And you're like, thanks, dickhead. I give you a fucking totally fake address, email address, name, everything. I'll see you next week.
Yo, that's how I know I was like fucking indoctrinated into it took me a while to actually leave the fucking Matrix because I would always just put my real phone number every fucking time.
Dude, you know what I started doing?
It would be like a fucking, it'd be one of those things where like we are 100% gonna sell your phone number to fucking bullshit services, I would just be like, I'd be like, I'm probably breaking a law if I don't put my phone number down.
If I click this box, it says I acknowledge that all this information is 100% correct and it's punishable by law.
Dude, I remember one of my favorite Bill Burr jokes was like when you're at the store and they're like, "Can we get your email?" And he's like, "No," and then they're like, "But sir, I have to put in an email." I remember hearing that being like, it made me laugh so hard because I was like, oh, fuck, that's like a fucking option. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, you feel like there's like, would you say you were 47? And,
yeah, 82, actually.
But no, for real.
What's that? What'd you say?
You're 37 buying bike lock fucking hoodies, and you're just out here.
Is this my midlife crisis? My fucking Jared Leto Joker themed fucking hoodie.
Yeah, dude, you got a fucking mushroom and you're a walking kickflip.
This was like, designed by Jared Leto's Joker right here. This is the officially why so serious.
Yeah, but like so. If you told like a 15-year-old your age, they'd be like, "That's the highest number I've ever heard." Yeah. And it was, say like I'm 33, they'd be like, "That's the oldest shit too." You know what I mean? Like, but like you don't walk around like feeling like an adult. I got to imagine, like you probably still feel like early college. Because I feel a similar way when I'm constantly reminding myself, like maybe we don't tweet the word retarded as much today, Andy. Like things like that.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing more that makes you, so I don't have these moments where I'm always feeling like an adult. And then there's nothing more in the world that makes you feel like adult than when like some fucking 20-year-old was like, "Can I get your email?" And you're like, "No." You just don't, and you just don't care.
That
And it
power.
is that Bill Burr joke, like, where they like look confused at you, and you're like, "No, I know what this is. Just because you said it that way doesn't mean you're gonna trick me, you dummy."
Right. Yeah, you can't trick me into giving you my information. But I also I had a fun when I started doing when I was going on doing the brewery and winery comedy tours with Zach. I was doing those a lot more. And so like everywhere we would go, we'd visit like the local mall, or we'd kind of fuck around in the city and shit like that. And there's always in the malls, there's always those car giveaways or vacation giveaways that you can sign up for. What I started doing was a old coworker that I used to work with back in Florida, this guy Talone. I sign up his information. I give his real address, his real phone number, his name, his everything, email, everything, and, and he just gets it. I actually signed him up to help sponsor the Gay Hockey Alliance when I went to a New York Rangers game. And I put all of his information, and they are very persistent. Apparently, they really do look for donors. So he has called me very frustrated a couple times. I think one time I signed him up for a cruise in Ohio that they did not stop. They said, "You signed up for it, sir." And he's like, "Look, man, I've never been to fucking Ohio." And it's a joy. It really is a joy. So if you don't want to give your address, give somebody else's, maybe a friend or an enemy.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to like realize going about life. Like, there's a lot, like, obviously, like, being a libertarian, I get the jokes a lot of time. You used to say it to me where you'd be like, I remember you said it to me forever ago when we were doing like a fucking podcast talking about this, where you were like, "Oh, you don't like, you don't want to pay, you don't like, or you think taxation is theft, stop paying your taxes and see what happens." And it's like, well, no, that's not, in my opinion, that's not the best example, because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, just because if I don't do the thing you say I should do, I'll get thrown into jail, doesn't mean it doesn't mean I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah.
So there are things like that where it's like, you should do those, do the things that don't get you killed or put in a cage. That's a good rule of thumb, right?
Yeah.
But
maybe our
beyond
first merch.
beyond that, what?
I said maybe our first merch.
Just giving advice.
Don't do the things that get you hurt or put in a cage.
Yeah, I'll also sell a hoodie that says "Shut the fuck up and get a lawyer." That's my other life advice. Just
And
never. No, just, and I'm not even, we've talked about it before. We're not even full ACAB on here, but just good rule of thumb, don't talk to cops.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you're asking the questions. And I always ask them, how many people have you tasered? What was it like?
You guys think, you guys think you eat donuts? No,
Yeah.
I eat donuts. I eat donuts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
I eat fucking donuts.
Yeah, I fucking eat you under the table, boy.
Yeah, you guys are
You must
cute.
not even look at me.
Oh, you think you eat donuts? That's cute. That's real
I'll paint
cute.
back door red.
But no, but there's like a lot of other shit. Like, people just do it because you're like that. Like, we've hit a point in society where you can just kind of coast.
Mm-hmm.
You should like you can just kind of coast through, and you don't have to like think too much. And you just do it, and it's like,
yeah, that's true. I can vouch for that.
You don't have to think too much, and people don't realize, like, there's just a lot of stuff you don't have to do. You know what I mean? There's certain like normalities of society. You know what I mean? It's like the thing. Now I'm not for legal reasons. I'm not sitting here and telling people to break laws for legal reasons. That I love laws. Don't break them. That'd be illegal. I would never say. Here's the thing. I would never tell anyone in the audience, do illegal shit. I would never say that. I would never tell you guys that I want you to do illegal shit. That's not a thing I would say. But either way, it's like
I'm giving you the assist.
What?
I'm giving you a non-verbal assist over here, huh? I'm giving the winks there, huh? That's for the YouTube people. People listening, you're fucked.
People listening, eat my fucking asshole. No, but like, it's like, you're driving down the highway and the speed limit sign says 55. Well, if the cop doesn't want to pull you over till you're going 85, then the speed limit's 84, baby. You know what I mean? Like, the speed limit, it's like, you gotta just know what'll get you fucked.
Yeah.
And just avoid getting fucked, and then you can do everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, you can't cheat. A lot of times cops cheat. There's I joke about it a lot. There's a sign I always see that says, at this middle of nowhere, this turn, it's a big yellow sign that says, warning, high DUI crash area. And I was like, that just feels like the cops just gave up. And they're just like, look out right here. It's really bad. We can't do anything about it. They outnumber us now. They're,
you know
what I mean? Like, it's like, don't tell us how to do your job. You look out for them. You watch out for dangerous DUIs, please.
You want to know how little cops do shit? You know what the best way to get rid of speeding is?
Huh?
I was reading a book and they threw out this factoid. The best way to get rid of speeding is just putting up those signs that like shame you, or the LED things or whatever the fuck they are, where if you go over the speed limit, they start blinking.
Oh yeah.
Though I was reading a thing about that.
You're right. Yeah.
Those curb speeding 10 times more than anything cops do ever. Because also, too, most times when cops are trying to, like, curb speeding, they're hiding behind a fucking wall and they're waiting for you to speed. That's most of police work. So much of police work is waiting for something to happen and then giving you a ticket for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say overall that, and also, like, the red light cameras or those weird speeding cameras that they have in construction zones, those are spreading. I only saw those in Maryland for the longest time, but now I see them all over now.
Wait, what are they?
They're like, so they'll have the construction zone or something like that, and then like they'll say speed limit photo enforced, and then they'll have like a fucking car set up that has this big, like, almost like a not like, just like it's a very obvious setup, but that I don't know exactly where the camera is, but a very obvious flash as well that'll like take a picture, I guess, of your shit if you drive past too fast. That like. It's like, I'm like, you can't fucking cheat. That's cheating. You can't just take a picture and say like, oh, you went past the in Florida, their red light cameras were super sensitive. Like, so you could still make a right on red at a red light, but you'd have to stop for the correct amount of time. If you didn't stop for the correct amount of time, or if the camera was malfunctioning and you rolled over the sensor, what they would perceive to be too soon, you would get a fucking ticket. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? You're not only you're cheating, but you're cheating with faulty equipment. I think eventually they voted to take those down, but like, it's crazy that they can just cheat like that. Like, but to me, those blinky speed limit things always work on me, and it's for the fear of a cop that would be reading that. You know what I mean? Or a picture being taken or something like that. Honestly, if you have a flash bulb and one of those blinky speed limit things, I think you're fine. You don't even need to actually take their picture. People will be like, fuck, god damn it.
Dude, you can do so much through mild shaming of people. You know what I mean?
Really,
like anyone who's lost a good amount of weight or gotten in shape, it always starts with feeling bad about themselves. Mm-hmm. It never starts because like, oh, I just heard a good argument about, everyone knows working out and eating good is better for you, and no one's ever like, I just heard a really good argument and now I work out. It's like, no, it usually comes from feeling disgusted with yourself to some degree, or feeling like a bitch or something like that. So it's like mild shaming works on a lot of shit. But yeah, we've been rambling. I've had a wonderful week, Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Can I tell you about it?
Please tell me. You said not only do you have big news for me, but also you said you have
Bro, big news is an understatement.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as big as my dick is small. Anyway, that's a joke. It's not photogenic, but it does the fucking job, guys. It does the fucking job. Anyway. No, so
girthy news.
So was I telling you that Run the Jewels is doing a tour right now where they're doing like 5 cities, I think, 4 or 5 cities, and it's to basically celebrate 10 years of Run the Jewels. So in each city they're doing 4 shows and they have 4 albums. So each show they do a different album. You know, first show Run the Jewels 1, second show Run the Jewels 2, etc., etc. And for an anniversary gift, Steph surprises me and she's like, "Oh, I got you tickets to Run the Jewels, their concert." She was like, "I was gonna get you tickets to the first night, but like something happened, so I ended up having like it wasn't like letting her get tickets, which was weird because there were tickets to still purchase the night of the show.
Yeah.
Which I think they ended up selling out all. They sold out the second, third, and fourth night, and I think they got pretty much close to selling out first night. But either way, night of the show, there were tickets to be sold, which, you know, we talk about dynamic pricing and how, you know, you can't go an episode without talking about our friend Tay Tay, but like Taylor Swift tickets going up to like fucking $20,000.
Yeah.
Well, there's the other end of dynamic pricing where you don't sell out the tickets, and an hour before the show, you can get Run the Jewels tickets for $9.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've heard about that with like sporting events and shit like that. Like, but it was through a ticket. I think it was like SeatGeek or one of those fucking ticketing things through a podcast ad. And I was like, of course you're gonna say that, and you're gonna say it's the best experience because you're getting paid to fucking say it, dickhead. But like, so is that a real thing though? Like, even with concerts, that's a real thing. Where like, if it's
So,
like
Nate,
if not all the tickets,
when we were going to the show, well, that's the thing. It's like because this is how fucking selling anything works: is whoever's selling something, they're gonna try to get the most money out of you that they can get. But if no one's buying, ideally, the venue wants to charge $1 million a ticket. Because then they'll be like, we'll be fucking billionaires after one concert. But if they post on the website, hey, Run the Jewels tickets $1 million. You know, I'm the biggest fan there is of Run the Jewels. I go, I just don't got it this week, guys. I'm sorry. So they go,
this hoodie really set me back.
Yeah, dude, I'm buying bike chain hoodies. I don't really got extra scratch this week.
Okay.
So, you know, and that's basically how prices are set. You know, someone goes this much and people go nah, and they go this much and people go nah, and then eventually they go this much and people go yeah, that seems fair. You know, it's people. That's basically what it is. It's so you know they sell them for a certain amount because what you're purchasing when you get the tickets early, you're spending a little more to assure that you have a ticket at the chance that it's going to sell out. But then if they didn't sell out, the venue still, like, their goal is to make as much money without hurting their business. So they're gonna, you know, the day of the show, they don't have enough tickets sold, they'll throw up a few for fucking $9, $10, $12. You know what I mean? So yeah, we were day of, there were like fucking $9 tickets and shit like that. But yeah, so I was just planning on going tonight too, to go see them do Run the Jewels 2. And then, which was Thursday. What's today? Friday, which was yesterday, Thursday. When we're recording this yesterday, which was yesterday, Thursday. And then, so the day before that, obviously, which is Wednesday, because that's how the week works.
Yeah, nailed it.
Thanks, dude. I fucking try.
I'm your hype guy now.
But yeah, so it's Wednesday, and I'm just at work, and I get a text from Nate, and he's like, yo, what night are you going to Run the Jewels? I was like, tomorrow. And he was like, do you want to go tonight? And I was like, what? I was like, you know, I'm not really trying to, like, Steph bought the tickets. I'm not really trying to spend my money on this. But no, he goes, our friend Shane Gillis, probably heard of him. Uh, but Shane bought Shane. I didn't realize this, but Shane's like a big Run the Jewels fan. So Shane bought tickets to the fucking show and was like inviting us and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Nate tells me about that. I was like, let's go. We go to the show. Dude, it was funny as fuck. I didn't know Shane fucking listened to fucking Run the Jewels. We're at this bar beforehand, and like me and him are getting nerdy about like which albums are favorite and, you know, this song and the progression of albums. I was like, oh, damn. Shane's
Like
like
he's
a big...
like a fan. He's not just like somebody that's like, oh, I'll just go out to, or I know the hits or something like it. I'm like a casual fan. Everything I've heard by him, I really like, but I couldn't name. I know Meow the Jewels, which is obviously because I'm an idiot.
that is a good Pat centric rap album.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
and I also love
all
Killer
Pat sounds.
Yeah, I also love Killer Mike and his show. I loved his show that he had as well
On Vice, right?
Yeah, that was a great show. And Lie, Cheat, Steal, or whatever. I love the acapella version so much of it that I actually put that on my playlist, the regular version of it. Lie, Cheat, Steal. Is it Lie, Cheat,
Just
Steal?
Lie, Cheat, Steal.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I love it.
Wait, they have like an acapella version on.
There was he paid a barbershop quartet to come in and do that song for a elderly home, and it was really cool.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was really good. Have you not seen that? We should
No.
play that on New Music Sunday. Oh shit! It is magic.
It is magic. But anyway, yeah. So we,
tell me
I will. Here's the thing, Pat. I fucking will. So I go. We're hanging out at the bar, grabbing drinks and stuff. Ripping some cigs.
You love cigs, did you not? Was there anybody handing out free cigs?
No. Actually, Lemaire Lee. Lemaire Lee. Yeah, no, because he was like, do you want to go halves on a pack of cigs? And my immediate reaction was like, I don't know if I want to fucking
I don't have that kind of money.
No. I was like, I don't know if I want to buy cigs. And Lemaire, dude, Lemaire's like just a little fiend. He's like, whatever, I'm going to go get cigs.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, all right, fine, deal's off. I'll just split some with you anyway.
Well, he's like, I'm just trying to get, he's like, I need cigs. We got to stop talking about this. I'm just going to go get cigs. But anyway, so we go over to the show and then we go in and, so like Shane, shout out Shane. He got all the tickets for us.
Nice.
And we go in and then he goes, it's him, Matt, you know, Matt McCusker with him on his podcast. And then, his girl was there, I think. And then, yeah. So it's like me, then Nate and Lemaire, Tommy Pope from Stuff Island, and then his girl. And then Shane's there with Matt and his girl, and he's like, all right, Andy, you're gonna come with us. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. He's like, I got VIP tickets. You're coming with us.
Shit.
And I was like, what? He's like,
is that the shots from the side that you had?
yeah.
Holy shit.
So he goes, yeah, so he's like talking to the guy, he's like talking to the guy getting the tickets, and he turns to me and he's just like, all right. He's like, if things going according to plan, he's like, I'm gonna get you to meet the boys. And I was like, what?
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, now things just got fucking real. So we're going, and then we go up to the balcony area, and there's like an extra air. It was actually, so this was at Terminal 5, and shout out Terminal 5. They're fucking brilliant because they have, like, if you just walked in, you'd be like, oh, there's a good view for everyone to be had. But then the second, so they have the first, second, and third floor. But the second anyone gets on the railing of the second or third floor, everyone behind them like can't fucking see. Yeah. But
can you push them off the railing?
You could theoretically. Okay. I was trying to like listen to the band and stuff, so I wasn't really.
I didn't know what the VIP badge like entailed. Like, what could you get? Like free water? Could you push people off the railing downstairs?
Yeah. I think so. I think there was you can spit on the poor clause.
That's pretty cool. You push them off and you just go like, you just hold up a badge. You're just like, nah, I'm VIP. Sorry.
Yeah.
I couldn't see. I told them I was VIP, but
it's dark in here. I can't really I can't really see.
VIP. You didn't even warn them.
As they're falling, I go, oh, let me clarify. Oh God. He fucking just breaks his neck. He breaks his neck before I'm able to fucking say it.
Nobody caught him. Oh.
But no, it was like a dope way of doing it where they had a bunch of these, like, you know, you pay a little bit more money, you're in this area where you just get a way better fucking view. And it's like, you know, at my, you know, unless it's a fucking Jesus Piece show, I don't give a fuck about going into the actual crowd.
Yeah.
So I look at that and I go, yo, if I have the money, I will 100%, I will get that every single fucking time. I will 100%, if I have the money, pay a little bit more to get a great view of the show. Cause it's like, it makes the whole experience 1,000% better.
You did that. So I think I did that something similar. Obviously, I think my view is a little bit more obstructed, but I was at the Franklin Music Hall when I saw Refused with the Hives.
Yeah.
And I remember because I had already seen Refused and I spent the entire time in the pit, the whole from start to finish, almost, I was just fucking ripping it up. And then I was just like, all right, now every time I get to see Refused live, I want to see and focus on a different member of the band. So this one, I wanted to focus on the band or the drummer, of Refused. And so we sat up on the second floor of, Franklin, was it before the Electric Factory?
Well, yeah, it's Franklin Music Hall now.
But we were up on the second floor near the bar and like almost all the way. It felt like
you almost off to the side or in the back?
Off to the side. So it felt like almost in the back because we could see it felt very similar to what your view was, obviously not as high up, but also we did have a couple amps in our way too, but we could very clearly see the drummer and like most of the band.
Franklin Music Hall's their side area by the bar is dope because it's like it's tiered. I don't want to say stadium seating because it's only one step up.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But it's there. Yeah. So you can because we went to go see the Menzingers there. It was actually that show. You know, it was funny. Menzingers was literally probably one of the last shows they had before COVID because we went to go see Menzingers February. All the lockdowns and shit happened in March and shit. We went to go see them in February. And I remember being, we were in the second row, but it was elevated. So it was like, we got a good view the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a really good view the whole time. So, yeah, we have, oh, by the way, I have not hung out with Famous Shane.
Yeah. Yeah. How was that?
So funny, dude. Yeah. Like, people get, and you know what's funny? Like, the whole time of like Shane becoming more popular, I've always experienced people, being excited for him and shit like that. I remember like one time we were doing, when he had that show on Compound and this like, I remember earlier in that week, I guess he had been doing fucking, Real Ass Podcast and he was like, fucking with Lewis a bunch. And then we were at a fair one. That's what it was called. We're on a fair one and this dude calls in and it was like the way he was saying, he was like, dude, the way you fucking came at Lewis, that was fucking crazy. And I was like, oh shit, these dudes love him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I first started to realize like these dudes fucking love him. So, but then to just like we were walking, like when we were at the bar, someone noticed him. When we were like a block away. We were like a block away from the venue. There was like oh shit, Shane. And then the bartender at the venue was like, I just saw your special today. Here, drinks on me. And I was like, it was so because the thing that always gets me, that tickles me, is the smile people get. Yeah, every time they realize it's him, dude. The smile they get, and I'm like,
it's the funniest thing.
I'm like, oh shit, no. I was like, oh shit, I'm just chilling, but like this like made your fucking day. That's the part that always gets me.
It's funny, you know how I do, and I aspire to be professional one day, but the martial arts play-by-play every once in a while for competitions at my gym. And I was setting up one day, it was one afternoon, I was setting up for the King of the White Belts tournament. And But Shane had contacted me, and him and Matt were in town, and they wanted to record a podcast, but they didn't have any equipment with them. And he was wondering if he could borrow some equipment for the time being, and if I mind, blah blah blah. And then I was like, yeah, absolutely. I said, just do it. I could Dropbox it to you or whatever, and no big deal. And he's like, okay, cool. And I was like, just let me know when. I said, I'm here setting up, so just let me know when you get here, and I can come down and I can bring it to you. I brought it to the gym with me, and he's like, cool. I guess he just decided to come up to pick it up from me while I was getting ready, and there's a guy running around warming up, and he gave the best reaction ever. He was like running around, and he was like running, and he goes like, "You're Shane Gillis." And he like just stops and points at him, and like he like interrupts us talking to say it, and it was one of those situations where it's like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. I was like, and I'm just talking to Shane. I was just like, hey man, how's it going? Like shook his hand and whatever, like caught up with him for a little bit, gave him the stuff, told him how everything. I mean, he knew how the stuff worked and everything, but I was like, yeah, just let me know and I'll pick it up from you. I was seeing him later on that week. He was in town or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just like that guy going, so like that guy doing that reaction, and then Shane at the end of it, he's like, first of all, he goes, that guy's gonna win. He totally called the winner of the competition. This muscular black guy. He's like, that guy's definitely gonna win. I think he even bet Matt $5. And he said, hey, tell that guy you can come to the show. And I was like, I'll let him know. He's like, I already got tickets. It's awesome. He's like, you know him? And I was just like, kind of.
It's funny. I was that guy. To fast forward. I was that guy later in the night because there's this. I don't know if you saw the picture I posted on Instagram. But
yeah,
I was like, you know me, I get like fucking nerdy with some shit. So with like that, with Run the Jewels and the rappers that surround him, I'm like deep into all that stuff. And there's one New York rapper called like Mr. Motherfucking Esquire, and he's actually the reason I'm basically like the rap I listen to. He's the reason I listen to it. So he had this song called Huzzah. He did a remix of it where he just got a shitload of besides Danny Brown, who's like a Detroit rapper, he got like all these dope New York rappers. Despot, who doesn't rap anymore, who actually came out during the second night of Run the Jewels, which was fucking sick. Getting to see him because he was a dude who was like rapping a bunch and then just kind of drifted away. Like he had this whole album that he kept telling was like, it's almost done. And then he just kind of drifted away. And then you saw he opened up like a deli or something in Brooklyn. And then to be able to like, and you're like, oh, okay, you're just not rapping anymore. And then to be able to like see him rap Thursday night, I was like, oh shit. You know, like when something happens where like, it's one thing when you go, like if you go to a water park, you're expecting that to be fun. It's like expected fun. Yeah. It's still fun as shit, but you knew it was gonna be fun for the most part. Yeah, when you get surprised with a thing, it's just a little bit extra special. Where you're especially too when you get surprised with like, oh, I thought that was never gonna happen again, and now I'm experiencing it. Let's fucking go. It's it's like I remember I got that feeling when I saw Cody Rhodes wrestle at WrestleMania. When he came out and wrestled Seth Rollins, and I was just like, oh, it's like surreal seeing Cody Rhodes as his AEW persona in WWE. It was like fuck. So when you get things like that, it's like fucking nuts. So
who is the gentleman that you met at the Run of the Jewels? Like this is that
was Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. That was just a fast forward to. Oh, that's right. That was a fast forward to the end of the night because I did what your friend did to what the fighter did to Shane. Where I go up to him, I go, pardon me, are you Mr. Motherfucking Esquire?
Yeah, pardon me. Would you happen to be? You look a heck of a lot like Mr. Motherfucking Esquire.
If I could just bother you for 2 seconds.
Excuse me.
If I could just trouble you for 1 minute. Are you Mr. Motherfucking Esquire? Like I said that. I sounded, but like how else would I have asked? Like it just sounded so silly to say out loud. Be like, excuse me, sir, are you Mr. Motherfucking Esquire? And he was just like, yeah. And I was like, and I try to. let me know your technique, but like when I get, because this guy was just vibing out. I did it to fucking Jake the Snake at Skankfest one time. I saw Jake the Snake walk out, and I go, and like, dude, I get in there. I'm so good at getting a picture with a famous person or a person I admire. I'm so good at getting a picture, and I did it with Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. I did it with Jake the Snake. You walk in, hey, I don't mean to bother you. Can I get a picture real quick? You have like, dude, I have the phone out, open to the photos. Quick hand it to the person nearby. I actually felt a little bit bad because there was like some dude standing right there, and I just immediately go, "Hey man, would you be able to take the picture real quick?" And I was like, I hope he wasn't like a rapper or something that I just made because he looked like the way he was dressed. He looked like he was friend because Mr. Motherfucking Esquire was wearing like a loud ass shirt and like a big like a big beaded necklace and shit. And the dude standing next to him had a similar vibe. I was like, I would feel like a dick if you're also a rapper. And I just was like, and I was just like, hey, I don't know who the fuck you are. Can you please take this fucking picture?
Yeah. I think I don't, but that's not crazy, right? Like you can be fans of other, like you weren't disrespectful. You weren't like, hey pal, do you mind taking like you were like, do you mind taking a picture? It's not that crazy, but I could understand that. I thought you were talking about maybe he was another fan that was waiting to take a picture with him, and you're just like, hey, could you take a picture of me with him?
Let me put it this way. It makes me think of the one time it was me, Nate, and Lemaire, and we're all at Brooklyn Comedy Club one day, and there was this one kid. Dude, I'm standing right next to him. There's this kid that I think his name's Cam. Shout out Cam. He rules. But he was like, he sees Lemaire. It usually starts with Lemaire. He usually starts with Lemaire. He's like, oh, you're Lemaire. Oh, you're Nate. And he's just talking to them. And he's just like, and once again, I'm right there. And he's talking to both of them. And he keeps going on. He's a huge fan of the podcast. Huge fan of the podcast. Huge fan of the podcast. And I'm standing there. And dude, I know he sees me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, huge fan of the podcast. And then Nate, dude, Nate made me laugh so hard. He goes, that's Andy, right? And then he looks and he's like, "Oh shit!" But I was like, it was weird because I'm getting all this compliments, but this dude's not acknowledging that I exist, so it didn't feel like I was getting the compliments.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad if he asked you to take the picture. I always offer. I don't mind taking a picture. Like that was one of those things. Like it's pretty cool because if I may give you your flowers a bit, young man. But when we go to shows and when we were even at Philly Comedy Fest and everything like that, we're hanging out. There's people coming up to you. There's people asking you guys for pictures. You, Lemaire, Nate, for pictures and stuff like that. And guess what? I offer to take it before it's even asked because you know what? I'm just that kind of guy. Also, I take really good pictures. I do a good job. And also, I know my strengths. And if you don't want to take a picture with me, I also have offered to do that with people that have been like, hey, do you want to get a picture? And I'm just like, sure, I'll just give me your camera. I'm just like, no, like, do you want to get in the picture with it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
You just go too humble.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, do you want me to hide my face or something? But like, it's one of those things that like, I think it's pretty cool to see whenever that happens. It's like, I think people respect it. So I don't think it's as long as you ask nicely enough and you don't, but I could understand that hesitation with that. So when you met Mr. Motherfucking Esquire, was he nice? Did you get to chat with him a little bit or was it just the picture?
Oh no. That's what I was saying. Like with Jake the Snake with him.
Oh, yeah.
I get in there. I ask for the picture. I try to be polite as hell. I say, thank you so much. Have a good night. And like, because he doesn't want to fucking talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to fucking talk to you. So I just get in there and get the fuck out of there real quick. Because it's like, It's just like, because it was so fucking cool seeing him there. Because, like, legitimately, like, if it wasn't for that song, I wouldn't have found out about Run the Jewels like that and shit. So it's just like, I remember I was like, this rules. Even if they're, because sometimes when you get the picture, you almost wish there was a little bit of an interaction, but. Dude. It was just for me so cool to see him there that I was like, yo, let me get I just get a fucking picture whether there's an interaction or not.
I had one of the best interactions. I've had multiple like pretty good interactions with pictures with celebrities and stuff like that. But one of my favorites actually, shout out to Tony Sly from No Use for a Name. He may he rest in peace, rest in power, King. But he once played the State Theater in St. Petersburg, Florida, one of my favorite venues to go to shows. And at the time, I was a pretty big bandwagon. I was. Wait, did you say virgin?
No, he said I was a pretty big, and I said person.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was a very big person, but I was a young man who I think identified as a pretty diehard Tampa Bay Rays fan, Devil Rays fan, and
Still do.
And there was, well, yeah, I like them, but they're but I really don't give a shit. They
I thought they were like your favorite
were,
team.
huh?
I thought they were like your favorite team.
I just like that once they took the Devil out, I did not want to support them anymore. Once they weren't the Tampa Bay Devil Rays anymore. I was
Oh,
like, "Fuck you
okay.
guys."
I just was confused because you post about them constantly, but I guess I'm a fucking dumb piece of shit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I went to the improv school called No Fuck You.
No, but you're an asshole.
No, suck my dick. But there was a situation where I was seeing no use for a name, and shout out to No Use for a Name for I think being their own roadies, like kind of for the most part. Like they were setting up a lot of their own shit. Like I don't know how many techs they had at the time, but I was really excited to see them. And there was one member of the band that I don't really totally recognize, but they were wearing a Boston Red Sox hat
Yeah.
or whatever. So I kept chirping them, and I was like, "Hey, you!" And I was like, "Hey," and but I was doing it really silly. I was like, "Take that hat off." Take it off. I was like, "You."
Oh, dude.
I think that's one of these. He did it like this. He pointed to it. And he goes, "No." And he held on to it like he was like he got what is it? He understood the assignment like he was playing along with the bit, and then I ended up like really quickly after the show. It ended up being Tony Sly, the lead singer of No Use for a Name. Great show, excellent singer, all this stuff. When they were breaking down, I was like, "Hey man, that was awesome." It was a weird thing. I wasn't like one of those weirdos that like needed like set lists or like memorabilia or like anything like that. I was really about the interaction. I love an interaction.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had just gotten one of my first digital cameras that I ever got, so I had it with me, and I was like, I asked for a picture, and like he just kind of like leaned down. He was on stage, and he was like breaking down and shit like that. And there's a really nice picture of me and him from then. But like he has passed away, so like that's actually a really like perfect interaction, and actually a really pretty good picture considering. I wish I knew where that was though. I don't know. I think I have it saved somewhere.
You know what's funny? You were saying about you're like props to No Use for a Name. They're like their own roadies, and I was gonna make a joke where I go like, or they just weren't making enough money. But then I remembered I was listening to Kubla Khan on this podcast. It's called Downbeat, I think. It's the drummer of Stray from the Path has a really good podcast, and he was interviewing the lead singer and the drummer of Kubla Khan, and they were making me laugh so hard because they're just dudes. They're just dudes, and they're like, and like the dude from Straight from the Past asked them about like having a tour manager or a tech or like a merch guy, and the guys from Kubla Khan are just like, yeah, nah, we just do that so we can make more money.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, that's not like I really think they're just like, no, we know what we're doing. Like, fuck you.
yeah, and he's like, I don't, and like he was saying, this is the one part about because I always sit back and think about alternate universes where I was like, I did music instead of comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, the part that would suck ass about music is because I don't know if the like hanging out waiting for the show is the same as comedy.
Yeah.
Where you're just standing there at the bar or like just at the venue. Cause like with a show, like load time I feel is always like 2 or 3 because everyone has to do a fucking sound check. And then you just have to like it's like a lot of sitting around in shitty green rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So wait, why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, just because it seems all the like hanging out and stuff like that just seems like the stuff outside of playing just seems like it sucks ass to deal with. And I think Kubla Khan's point was like, we're just gonna be fucking sitting around anyway. I
Yeah.
might as well sell the merch and make more money. And the lead singer was actually saying, he's like, I actually kind of get off on talking to the fans and stuff like that, which I was like, yes, you guys are cool.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. Yeah, you're not
But yeah,
you know what it is. It's like you want to hear feedback from the people and everything like that, and it's like you want to put out cool shit and hear that, like how
Yeah.
people respond to the cool shit you make. So fuck yeah, hell yeah, Why
yeah,
not?
and dude, you're talking about having a solid interaction. When you were saying the thing about like the hat thing you were saying with the Red Sox hat,
Yeah,
I do this thing all the time. Like there was this dude at Philly Fest who had a fucking he had a Soul Glow shirt, or wait. Yeah, right?
yeah.
What am I trying
Soul
to say?
Glow, yeah,
Soul
yeah.
Glow. Yeah. The
band,
punk,
yeah.
well, hardcore punk, whatever you want to call him, the band.
Yeah.
And he had the shirt, but like I don't know. I just want to go. I just want to get across like I like your shirt, hell yeah, and keep it moving. But I have not figured out a way to like make that clear to them. So it's just me pointing at them and them going like, huh? What? Like I'm about to fucking threaten them or something. And then like I remember the dude at Philly Fest, he was like, huh? And I was like, I like your shirt. And then there was a dude last night at the Run the Jewels show with a fucking God's Hate shirt. Which if you guys don't know if you guys don't know God's Hate, their
cool.
lead singer is also a wrestler for fucking AEW, Brody King. They're just like a brutal hardcore band. They're fucking dope. But yeah, this dude had a God's Hate shirt, and I was just like, I did the same thing. I'm pointing at him. He looks scared, and I was like, I like your shirt.
Did you get to meet the guys? Speaking of quality Hanks, did you get to meet the Run the Jewels?
Well, here, let me get to that. And then actually, this is what I was gonna say. Quality interaction. I'm very proud of this. When I was in like college or a little bit after college, I went to go see Enter Shikari, and they were playing at the church in Philly, and they were playing at the church in Philly. And after the show, we were kind of like hanging out to see if we could like talk to them. And they were breaking their stuff down, and we go up and we're just saying hi. We like the band, and then I asked the guitarist. So they have this song called "The Jester," and he does this slide up the fretboard, but it's really really slow. Like over the course of 4 measures,
Yeah.
he slides just like up the fretboard. And I asked him, I was like, how do you do that? Because I was trying to figure it out on my guitar and I couldn't. And he was just like, oh. And he literally goes to his like gig bag, pulls out he has this like basically like a slide thing that a fucking blues guitarist would use.
Yeah.
And he like pulls it out, grabs his guitar, kind of shows me like air plays it on the guitar. And I was just like, you fucking killed it, Andy. He fucking, cause it's like, I so bad. It's the same thing with when you're making jokes at someone you first meet, and you ever like make a joke and then they make this face and you're immediately realize you're like, oh, you hear this joke constantly.
Yeah.
And then you feel, I was like, I want to so badly go up to them and just not have the interaction they have every single fucking time.
Yeah.
So that was, I was very proud of that. But
I had speaking of quality hangs, I once sell Mad Caddies with Pennywise. I can't remember the third band, but that's already interesting enough of a lineup. And almost catered right for Pat George himself. And
it's a very Pat centric lineup.
I wore not only that, but a very Pat centric shirt at the time. Some of my most clever political punditry ever.
Woo!
It was no one died when Clinton lied.
What?
Or something.
What's that in reference to?
I think because he lied about getting a blowjob, and Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, WMD.
Yeah, I was something like that. I can't remember which shirt it was, but it was something very clever and super pretentious of myself, who probably
it made me hard, Pat. I loved it.
Didn't read a goddamn word on the subject, but I loved defending it. I wanted to meet Pennywise, and I wanted to show them my cool shirt, and I wanted to have them sign it. And I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I was hanging out after the show, client classic hanger on, because I'm basically the guy who's like, I have no life. I'm just gonna wait here until everybody else, it's like these drunk dickheads that are just like, I want to fucking party with you. I don't want to party with you. I just want to talk to you about your music. I'm such a dickhead that I want to go like, hey, I believe in the things you do, and also remember that song that you wrote in 1994? It still really resonates with me now, or like just that shit. You know what I mean? I want to have the interaction.
Yeah.
So first, Jim from Pennywise comes out and loves the shirt, signs it, pretty rad. And then says, "Hey, hang out here."
Ooh.
He's like,
he points to his balls.
Yeah, he said, "Hang out here. I'll be right back," and then flicks me off, and then walks into a limousine, and it speeds off. No, no, he goes into the bus, and I'm just like, "Oh shit! Why would I? Oh, this is pretty cool. Like, fuck, I'm like, am I gonna get to hang out? Is he gonna? I thought he was gonna get something.
He's just talking. He's talking to the rest of Pennywise. He's like, I got a kid out there we can all fuck.
Yeah, I got a kid that we could fucking jizz on.
Yeah, we're Pennywise. We love to talk about politics and stuff, but we really just like to fuck the kids at our show.
Yeah, that's why we named ourselves out that pedo clown, dude.
That's really what it was about. We like the end of that book a lot.
Yeah, the end is the best.
Yeah, I didn't really get the overall message of the book. I just really liked the end.
The kid orgies the best. Yeah. He left. He ended up leaving
the band,
and then I can't remember what it was, but like I didn't realize that he left, and somebody else came out, like the tour manager or something like that. And he's like, I was like, Jim told me to just hang out here, and he's like, oh, all right. He's like, you talked to Jim, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, okay, well, 1 second, and like left for a little bit and then came back and took me up backstage, and I was hanging out backstage with Fletcher, the guitar player from Pennywise. And like the bass, I can't remember the bass player, unfortunately. I'm sorry, don't know his name. I'll look it up. But I was hanging out with those two, and then like the lead singer of Mad Caddies, and drinking. I was probably 17 at the time, 18 maybe. Drinking beers.
They were loosening you up, dude.
Dude, I was getting fucking groomed for sure. And he was talking about Fletcher said if he had his tattoo gun with him, he would have given me a tattoo, which is branding me. Hello. That's human trafficking. No thanks.
With his initials going Dalia all over you. Dalia before he was Dalia.
I'm surprised. I'm really actually happy that Fletcher didn't either headbutt me or throw up on me. So
he's like, I'd like to buy you from your parents, boy.
That was, and you know what was really funny? I ended up almost hanging out that was like a quality hang for a while, but then I'm just like, I don't want to get too drunk. I'm like 17, and I was also like, I gotta drive home. My car is parked. You know what I mean? Like I still have to get home.
I have to go home, Fletcher. Fletcher from Pennywise. I have to go home.
Like I was the guy that was like, cool, I'm partying with like some of the band. I don't know. You guys are. Is this what you guys do? And he was also offering me pasta and shit. He was actually just being kind of like a pretty good dad. He was just like,
Pat, I think
have some beer, have some pasta. You need some rigatoni?
Damn, dude, you got groomed by Fletcher from Pennywise.
Yeah. I don't remember much after that. All the beers he gave me were open already, too. Is that a big deal?
I love. They were all fizzy.
They're all really fizzy. They made me feel funny.
Damn, dude, I'm so excited to cancel Pennywise. This is gonna rule.
Dude, let's get them next.
Yeah, dude, fuck them. They've had it too good for too long.
Randy Bradbury, you knew what was going on. Fletcher, that's why you left the room, isn't it?
Isn't it, Fletcher? Shout out Derek. Oh no, I'm late. I need to quit my job so I don't miss these. You really should, Derek. It's fucking crazy you haven't already.
Yeah, come on, man. It's every Friday kind of, and also most Sundays probably.
Yeah, it's semi-regular, but not really that much.
Don't you get our schedule all the time? Maybe also sometimes. Mad Caddies.
Anyway, and before I get back to the Run the Jewels story, you just reminded me of this other funny and like awkward interactions. We went to go see Real Big Fish, and after the show, we're standing around, and my one buddy JR, we're all standing there outside of the show. And then their lead singer and guitarist walks by, and he just goes, "Hey, you're Aaron Barrett of Real Big Fish." It's like, whoa,
boy.
We still got the picture, but it That was the
Dude,
funniest one.
That was a really embarrassing one. I had at a hockey game real quick. I was a little lit. It was like second period Pat at a hockey game is a giggly Pat, but I'm a buzzed Pat, dude. I'm fucking toasted and I'm getting more beer. I'm waiting for more beer. I'm in line, and Dave Andrechuk, who was the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell from my flag back here, but Dave Andrechuk, who was the captain of the first ever Stanley Cup winning Tampa Bay Lightning team, and he is now a commentator for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was walking past me while I was in the arena waiting for beer, and I go like, "Hey!" and like I just said that to him, but I reached out and like grabbed his arm. Which you're not supposed to do with anybody, but
That's
for
so
sure
funny.
not a celebrity or a pro athlete. And he was just he gave me like one of those looks at first, but then he realized like I'm relatively harmless for the most part. I'm just a big dumb idiot. I don't think I got a picture with him, but I was just like, I think I said, "You're David Andrechuk." I was like, "Big fan, sir," or something like that. Something stupid.
Dude.
Oh, it was so embarrassing.
You also reminded me. I
just grabbed him. What the fuck?
I went to go see Title Fight. You remember them?
Oh yeah, I love Title Fight.
I went to go see Title Fight, and then like we saw the lead singer after the show, and I didn't think I was being a lot, but I definitely, because he's like a little dude, and I was substantially bigger than him, and I think just because of that dynamic, I was probably overbearing, and then we got the picture, and you see me like all excited right next to him, and he just looks so fucking uncomfortable in the picture, and I was like, oh, I was probably being too much.
Dude, one of the best interactions I've ever had was with right here, Mr. Beefcake, the Mighty. He drew me instead of just giving me an autograph.
Who?
Like Beefcake the Mighty. He was the bass player for Guar. We hung outside the bus for a while and got a fucking awesome group picture of me and all of my buddies with him. And I asked him for an autograph, and he not only gave me an autograph, but he drew me a picture of a little cartoon Beefcake, and I have it framed still in my tchotchke wall behind me at my podcast studio.
Nice.
That I cherish to this day. I dude, literally, if there's things I'm saving in a fire, this is absolutely one of the things I'm saving. I fucking love that. I love a handwritten, like that's such a great core memory. Can you build? Is it core memories even when you're like in your like almost like you're like 20?
I have no idea.
Is that still a core memory?
I don't know the rules of core memories.
Either way, that was a great memory that I had. Ybor City in fucking Tampa, Florida. That like, there's not a lot of good memories that happen there, but that was a great memory.
Thank God that happened, because not a lot of great stuff happened.
Any other great stuff happen at the Run the Jewels show though? Or did you have any other...
So we go upstairs, we get some beers, we're in that special area where you get a better view. Mm-hmm. And then this dude walks over and he starts talking to Shane, and I look over and I'm like, oh, that's the DJ from Run the Jewels. Of course he's friends with Shane. I was like, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And so that was my first moment of like, don't look like a little gay bitch. Don't look like a giddy little gay bitch.
Be cool. And you're just saying it out loud.
You're smiling so fucking. Yeah, dude, just out loud. I'm like, be fucking cool. And he's like, you're smiling way too much. You're smiling way too much.
Hold your beer. Hold your beer lower.
So they're talking for a little bit, and then at one point he kind of like has a look, and he's like, follow me. And so we're like, so we start going back. Yeah. So we start walking back. We go through some doors, and next thing I realize, we're fucking like backstage. And then they point us to like one room, and we like popped in real quick, and we realized it's fucking Killer Mike's dressing room. Yeah. And like that's when I really had to, because here's the thing.
Explain it in detail, give away every secret.
He's 3 white women in a costume. I hate to break the news. It's actually 3 white women in a costume. It's fucking it was crazy. And I was like,
You knew
damn, you guys are really, you three white ladies are really good at rapping.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
no, just for context to everyone, like I've been ground floor on fucking like Run the Jewels. They've been my favorite
Yeah,
rap
you
group
have.
the
I
whole
can vouch
time.
for that.
Like obsessive about them. Like I was talking to, I remember like Nate and Lemaire were joking. They were very happy that I got to meet them because they're like, when you think of Andy, like if you just go like name me 5 things about Andy, Run the Jewels is going to be one of the things. And I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds very true about me. So yeah, so I keep that in mind, and I walk into a room and immediately get presented with Killer Mike. So
wow.
in fucking half a second, I have to just fucking lock in and just be cool.
Just go.
And so Shane's there. He's just like, hey, you know, big fan. They shake hands, and then he sees me. And at the time, I'm wearing like a tie-dye Bucky shirt that I got when I was doing Porch Tour down in like fucking Alabama and shit. So I have a Bucky shirt. I shook our Killer Mike. I shake his hand. I think I was like, pleasure to meet you, sir. I think I called him sir. And and then he goes, oh, great Bucky shirt. And I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Bucky's. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Do you want to be friends?
Like cut to if it was me going in there right behind you, I'm like pulling my hoodie off like as I'm walking in the door.
But no, and the funniest part, shout out to Killer Mike Security, because like I think he actually said Bucky's beforehand, and I was like, haha, and then we like shook hands, and dude, I'm telling you, like we shake hands. The moment I feel his hand coming off mine, his security guard's like, "All right, Mike has to relax before the show. We got to get out of here." I was like, "Yo, he's got some tight ass security." but nah, Killer Mike, cool as shit. Lost a lot of weight. I hadn't like actually seen a picture or him in person or anything like that. Shout out to Killer Mike. Lost a bunch of weight, and then we were chilling in the hallway. And
looking
then,
killer, Mike. That's what you should have said.
I should have. And then he would be like,
"Looking killer, Mike. Yeah,
like,
buddy.
do you want to be the third member of Run the Jewels?"
Like, oh my god. He's like,
but no,
I love that wordplay, brother. You're in the band.
But no, and then we were chilling in the hallway, and then I think LP walks by, and then it's like 8 of us. You know, we all get a handshake, and then they're all talking. I'm doing the fuck because. Here was the funny part too.
You're like standing there. You just go, Bucky's. he shakes your hand and just like continues talking to Shane like a 5-second beat, and you're just like, Bucky's, right?
Bucky's.
It worked before. He said. Ask Mike about it. He'll know.
Mike gets it. Mike gets it. I call him Mike. Mike knows the reference.
Or sir.
No, and it was funny too because I had heard a story of I don't want to give too much details, but I was basically hearing a story of someone being too much around famous people, and that was like in my head. So I was like, I'm gonna be the opposite of too much. I'm gonna be not even there at all.
Less than.
And it was just a lot of like, it was just like, it was a lot of like, hey, LP, pleasure to meet you. I love you. And then, no, I didn't say that.
And then you're just standing Blair Witch style in the corner.
Yes, dude. Nah, dude, it was just me drifting off into the background. And I'm like, I'm just happy to be here, guys. And then we finished, and then we eventually get out of there because like LP walks away, and now we're just standing in this fucking backstage area, which was like a tight hallway and stuff like that. So we're like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah. That was awesome. And then afterwards, I walk over and I go to Shane. I like put my arm and I grab his hand. I was like, hey. That was pretty freaking cool, dude. I was like, that was pretty fucking cool.
You had to get it all out. You had to get it. Hey, man, that was pretty fucking cool, dude.
No, but for real, I just fucking, I go to Shane and I go, hey, that was really cool. Thanks. Thank you. I was like, thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Speaking of core memories, you're still getting them in your 30s.
Yeah, but no, I appreciated that a lot because I remember Shane was saying, he was like, "I know you're a fucking fan. I wanted to try to make that happen." I was like, well, "God damn, that's a pretty cool thing to do."
Yeah, that's a solid ass thing, because also not only that, but also as like just an experience of like that he knew that would mean something. Like a friend of mine
Yeah.
once she was the Tampa the Lightning actually used to do a like a community helper, like a community service award, essentially, where like people that would do a lot for their community they would give you like a donation of $50,000 to whatever charity that you worked with, and also like they would like give you the box for that evening for the game or something like that, and you could have a party, and also they would give you a tour on the ice. You're down on the bench for the warm-ups. Dude, it was fucking crazy. She won that, but like literally her and pretty much everyone she knows don't really give a fuck about hockey or the Lightning really in general.
Yeah.
So she knew that I was a huge hockey fan, and even though we weren't like super close or anything like that, she took me with them on that tour. And dude, every picture is me going like, I'm just like, I'm like, that's the fucking head coach, this fucking guy over here. He's like, hey, look at it's their locker. I'm not gonna touch anything. Oh, maybe I'll touch something, but I'm not gonna touch anything. Like literally.
Can I say something? I am very impressed how you've been able to relate everything I've said to the Tampa Bay Lightning specifically.
Yeah.
That's that's absolutely impressive. That's
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of fucking experiences with those guys.
Didn't you claim earlier? You're like, I kind of like them.
No, the Devil Rays, the baseball team, I don't give a fuck about.
Oh, I thought that was the hockey team. That makes a lot more sense. I take back everything I said.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I accept it. And also, tell me more about. So also no picks
here. Wait. So I do have to urinate aggressively. Is there any way? I want to tell you about
another Tampa Bay Lightning story chambered up.
I want to tell you about the show, but I have to piss.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, yeah. But no, I think Andy getting to finally meet Run the Jewels, because I have known Andy the entirety of me living in Pennsylvania, and the whole time I've lived in Pennsylvania and done comedy here, I've known Andy, and he is actually, I think Andy might be. I can only give credit to either Andy or Kirk Griffiths, another local comedian in the central Pennsylvania area. Both of those people are diehard Run the Jewels fans that from the entirety of the time I've known them. So the first time I ever heard of Run the Jewels was, I think, from Andy or possibly Kirk. So the fact that he got to meet them, I feel like kind of brings in that whole full circle. And I always kind of thought he looked like the guy from hold on, let me see if I can bring it up. Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels. I feel like he looked like not Killer Mike. Who's the other guy? You just said it. LP. I feel like he kind of like always kind of looked like him a little bit. Like because he always has sunglasses on, but I guess without the sunglasses doesn't look as much like him. Kind of looks like the guy from Dodgeball, the pirate guy. But this is the equivalent of me going to see the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm glad it brought back to hockey right as he walked back over. I can't remember if it was. I think you were the person that introduced me to Run the Jewels. It was either you.
Oh, dude, that's like my biggest. That's one of my biggest points of pride is there's like a good handful of people that are like, you're the reason I listen to Run the Jewels.
It's either you or I'm Kirk. Like, you or Kirk, I think.
I want to say I told Kirk about them, but I don't know. I don't know that for certain. Kirk actually, shout out Kirk, co-host of the Proper Ebonics podcast. Mm-hmm. When I posted the Mr. Motherfucking Esquire picture, he was one of the comments because I was like, I forget what he was like, hell yeah, or something like that. But that one made me happy because I was like, I guarantee you Kirk popped for that one because Kirk knows who the fuck that is.
Yeah. Like that's what I was saying is like the two diehard Run the Jewels fans that I've known since the time that I've moved up to Pennsylvania have been you and Kirk. So it's really cool that like you getting to meet them. It was very much like me getting to go the Tampa Bay Lightning locker room and see them warm up and all that shit like that. But it's also it's kind of like going full circle with them. And I was also saying I always kind of felt like you kind of look like LP. I don't know why.
You know what the craziest part is?
Huh.
I don't kind of look like LP. I look like fucking LP.
Okay,
like,
yeah, right. Like, cause he but also he kind of looks like the pirate guy from Dodgeball too. So, but you don't look like him necessarily.
No, because LP, because he also has like red hair, kind of like the same as me. Like I have red hair, kind of like it's obviously red, but it's not like red. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not like fucking Ron Weasley. You know what I mean? And
we're also pretty Weasley, dude.
No.
Bro. He's less Weasley than you. You're way more.
No,
Weasley.
Pat, respectively, get fucked. That's crazy.
Respectively, I mean, you don't have the shoulders like him, but I mean, sure, like you kind of. I'm sure his PR is better than yours, but whatever.
Pat, I've never even contemplated ending this podcast until right now. If you are going to sit there and say I have worse shoulders than Ron Weasley, we're fucking done. We're done.
They're not better than his. Like they're not better than his. That's all. Pat, like they're not worse. They're just not better.
I'm doing so many push-ups when this podcast ends. I'm going crazy right now.
You better get some dips in there, dude.
But no, I think me and LP both sit in this space where, like, I have a much bigger gut than him, but besides that, we both sit in this space where it's like they're not fat, but they're not skinny. Like, you know what I mean?
I think your gut looks big because your small shoulders. Like, it just looks bigger than it is because of the comparison.
Pat, I don't know what the fuck you think you're trying
to do. I don't know what got into me just now. I'm going hard on your shoulders, bro.
I'm doing so many push press tomorrow at the gym.
And you just came from the gym too. This is not flattering. I'm
the best pump I've ever had. I've had the best pump.
Dysmorphia.
Pours more beer. and you're wait, what'd you say?
Pours more beer. That's what the caption just said. Pours more beer.
No, you're also hitting me on a week where I've only been to the gym once this week, so I'm like, I'm probably looking.
Oh, that's soft. What it is. Okay, I can see it. Yeah.
Nah, dude, I was looking. Actually, I was feeling.
You're pulling up pictures, like video from you at the gym.
Yeah. Dude.
Hold on, no, dude. Like, check out the ring camera, dude. Like, just look at it.
Just from shoulder day. Nah, I posted the picture with me and Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. I was looking at that like I look sturdy.
Yeah.
Especially too, like I'm putting the way I'm putting my hands, I am like pushing my shit up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was
flexing a little. I see the flex.
I was laughing at this one because in that one I look hefty as shit. But and remind me to send you some pictures because they posted a shit ton. There was this girl taking a bunch of pictures from Philly Comedy Fest, and she actually she took a bunch of pictures outside of the actual podcast. She actually got a couple really good ones of you. I got to send to you.
Oh, okay.
Nice. But yeah, no, it was funny because there was this one picture of me. So in that picture, I'm looking sturdy as hell. But there's this one picture of me from Philly Fest where I'm just like laying in the chair, and I just look like a fucking minion the way my body's shaped in that.
Dude, at my day job where I do a little cremating, we have these cameras. One of the cameras watches the sensors on the machine. So sometimes when I'm standing at the front of the machine, if I'm looking at that camera, if I'm looking at the thing on my phone, I can actually see me right in the camera. So the other day, I was feeling a little fat, and I kept doing like the side profile look. I was like, just look at yourself, you fat fuck. Just look at yourself. I was just like, but I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Because I always, every time I walk profile, now that I've lost weight, I look at every side profile myself because I'm just I still can't look at myself sitting down, but I still look to try to because you said, I'm trying to work on my posture. Anything I can do to cheat it. Now, if I can just give it that last little, with posture, and like you said, if you suck it in a little bit, you have your hands in the right place, and you flex a little bit, you can look like a sturdy motherfucking dude instead of a fat piece of shit.
Yeah, so I'm trying to well, so here's the thing actually. Like recently at I'm a big with the
Piece
heat
of
this
shit.
summer, I get over my insecurities real quick at the gym. I'm a real shirt off working out
Oh
kind
yeah.
of boy.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the workouts we go running, and usually it'll be like a 400-meter run. And when you where how it's set up at our gym, when you hit so it's basically like 200 out, 100 200 back.
400 meters. How much is that in American?
Um,
What's that? 200 American?
I want to say it's half a mile.
Oh damn! Half a
think.
running? You run a half a mile?
Yeah, dude.
Fuck off. You run really? You run? I mean, I'm not okay. I don't. You jog or you run? Sprint?
Wait. I'm looking up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. The fuck do you do?
I definitely don't fucking run. What are you running from, boy? Come on now.
Yeah, you're fucking annoying.
I started my New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution is going to be on my birthday from now on. I'm not doing it at New Year's. I'm doing it from when it starts on my birthday.
Call your birthday resolution then, idiot.
Fuck off. Listen,
it's
to me.
actually a quarter of a mile.
What?
It's actually a quarter of a mile.
That's still pretty. But running the whole time?
Yeah, dude. And no, here's my thing. Here's my thing at CrossFit. I am a beast in the first round. And then after we get the first round of any workout, my endurance is out the fucking window. But no, legitimately, if you were like, Andy, run this quarter of a mile as fast as possible, I could hit it pretty good. It's just if you said, now go run a whole mile, that's when it's but no, I have decent, my endurance is just really bad. But like, yo, you give me, you want me to be a fucking maniac for a minute or two, I can do pretty good. But no, I will say this. I have been very happy with myself where when we do the running, like when I first started, if we were going to do the running, I'd be fucking walking so quickly. But now when we do the running, I still manage to, where it's like you might as well be walking, but you're hopping a little so it still counts as a run.
Yeah. That's what I did. That's my entire gym class career. Like through all middle and high school, I'm pretty sure. If I dressed out, it was bare minimum.
Yeah.
But I definitely, my personal New Year's resolution is to do at least one pull up this year.
That's a good one.
I've never done a pull up.
Well, because no, what the fuck? I was talking to someone at my job who was like, I want to say he said 10 or something. It was like some number where I was like, you're actually like stronger than the majority of the world. Like if you can do 10 pull-ups in a row, you're actually stronger than majority of the world.
Yeah. On the same day, even. If you can just do 10 in a day, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Actually, one pull-up is a really good one, because if you can do a pull-up, then you're probably pretty good at a lot of other stuff. So wait, we got to wrap up in a little bit. So let me just talk about the actual concert, because rap, we talked about it before when I went to go see Knocked Loose, and there was a bunch of rappers opening up, and they were kind of basically like, a lot of them were kind of doing karaoke to their own like album recording. And there was that dude Ski Mask the Slump God, who was literally just being he was being the hype man of his album recording. And there's like a weird precedent that's been set in rap where you just play the album recording and like kind of rap over it. And Run the Jewels takes that notion and just fucking punts it to the goddamn moon. It's like, bro, they like most of these rappers, and dude, you know what the funniest part? They're both like pushing 50. And they're doing these like intense live shows where they're just fucking singing now, granted, they have their DJ Trackstarz essentially doubles as their hype man, and he'll do the last word or two on a lot of lines, but still it's not saying a couple words and then letting the album recording play the rest of the fucking song. They're literally like, they're rapping fucking most of it. And you know what like the biggest, this goes back to something we've talked about a bunch before where, you see these bands just trying to get the song 100% and they're just standing there and it's just visually boring, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I'd rather a band like the fucking Chariot who's hitting every fourth note, but they're giving me the most intense, crazy live experience. And Run the Jewels is hitting a lot more than every fourth note. They're rapping the whole song.
Yeah,
they're rapping the whole song, and they're fucking jumping around, and they're just like fun. They do little shit where there's like a build up on the pre-chorus of their one song, the self-titled one, Run the Jewels, where they're doing little things where they'll do this bit where they clean each other up, and and they're like, oh yeah, you look, and then they go back to rapping, or they were playing this one song called Get It, where there was like a build up to a one part, and then Killer Mike did like just a quick little fucking, it sounds corny repeating it, but like in the moment it just fucking hits and it feels fun.
It's good. I like
doing
antics. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just doing like a little dance and shit, and it's just like, bro, the energy that they bring to this live show just makes it feel like a party.
Yeah.
And it was just, I gotta give them major props on just having a absolutely stellar live show. And I've seen, dude, it's crazy how obsessed I am with them. Like, I saw them Wednesday night, and then I see them Thursday, and I'm hearing, so what they did was, like, each of their albums are about 30 to 40 minutes, which we've talked about before. Perfect length.
Perfect.
Each of their albums are 30 to 40 minutes. They'd play the whole album, walk off, take a breather, and then they'd start like a big intro for the second half where they started to play a bunch of hits. And from night to night, they changed it up a little bit, but like they played all the main hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I feel like that happened with Fall of Troy. That was the same thing where like you got to hit, like you're doing the album from start to back. That's really cool. We really appreciate that. But also like you got to pepper in, you got to do other stuff. Like you got to put in either at the bookend, like some hits at the beginning and end there.
Well, usually too when bands, because I forgot about Fall of Troy. We saw them do that. I've seen Newfound Glory they did, which that I was talking to Steph about that. That still is up in literally one of my favorite days ever. I went to Atlantic City Beer Fest, $40. You get a fucking did we talk about it on here? It was a shot glass that was like 2 gulps worth. It would take 2 gulps worth of beer, and you just all day you just get that shit refilled with free beer. Well, not free, you paid to get in, but you just get it refilled with free beer all day, and then the finality to the day is Newfound Glory playing Sticks and Stones in its entirety.
Yeah,
and then
that's like pretty cool. That's a pretty cool day.
Dude, it was one of the best. And you know what? So we've talked about it before. I'm not a huge fan of the government. I don't like laws. But here's the thing. Broke clock, it's right twice a day.
Hell yeah.
And they have this law where I guess when you're serving alcohol like that at a festival, your festival can't be longer than 4 hours. And I was like, that's kind of a weird law. That's kind of dumb.
That is weird.
But then going through the day with how I drink, I go, I needed that limiter on me. You know what? That, you're violating my natural rights, but you got lucky and you picked the law I like. Because I don't have self-control and you helped me out there. So you are violating my rights and that's bad, but you got lucky, so I won't bitch about this one.
Yeah, this is like the stoplight all over again. Great job.
But yeah, all those mass murder campaigns, don't do those.
Stop with all the other stuff. The other stuff, you gotta pump the brakes a little bit, but for now, not bad.
Yeah. But no, it's just one of the. But yeah, with a lot of those, like with the album being 30, 40 minutes usually, you can't just do that. You gotta, you gotta pepper in some of the hits, and that was one. And this, that's what I was saying before. This is when I realized how obsessed I am with Run the Jewels, because it's like 2 nights in a row. I heard a bunch of the same songs, reacted just as big to every song, and then second night as we're leaving, I just put Run the Jewels back on because I was like, it's not a matter of like I don't get tired of them. I just get happy when I listen to them.
Dude, one of my favorite things was like when I went to see Refuse, and we were living in Florida still at the time. We drove to Atlanta to see them start their tour. And I remember like leaving and just being so fucking like enamored with how they did. I think it was summer. No, it was I think it was the song "A Shape to Punk to" or "The Shape of Punk to Come" from the album of the same name, and and I remember just being like, I fucking. And so as we got to the car in the parking lot, and obviously traffic was fucked trying to get out, and turned that song up immediately, found that song on the album and listened to it just so I could get to the part where, because I love how they did like, you know how like the album transitions a little bit different than the live version. I love a live version of every song. Don't get me started on that shit. But that was
in general, or you're just talking about Refuse?
Oh yeah. To me, the live album is the greatest way to start to intro yourself to a band, because you get hopefully you get a little bit of their banter. You get how they are on stage and how they interact with their fans. You get essentially a best of, because they're going to be playing a lot of the hits and stuff like that for their best, and how do they sound not at their best? And if you like them, then obviously you're gonna like a produced version of them, or you're gonna want to see them live. So check them out.
Actually, to what you just said, you're gonna want to hear a produced version. Can I say this? A fun little asterisk or whatever you would say onto that fart. A little fart onto that thought. I would actually say, when it comes to bands from like the 60s or 70s, I would actually say go find like the remastered live album, because I realized I really got into like Jimi Hendrix for like a day or two a while ago. And I was listening to yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Mitch, what's his name? Mitch Mitchells?
Yeah. The drummer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, dude, he's incredible. Like, I remember
Mitch Mitchell. He's one of, dude, any live version of Fire, he goes fucking ham. But yo, dude, I was listening to recordings, and I'm like, this is good. But then you listen to like the remastered live shit, and you don't get, like, don't get me wrong, Hendrix is obviously a fucking beast on the recording, but like you don't get a true, because he played, this is gonna sound corny as shit, but he played the guitar different, man. Like he didn't just, like you could hear him just feeling it. Like this was it, like when he, I'm gonna sound like such a fucking cornball, but I'm gonna say it. No, I'm gonna say it because like when he plays the guitar, you're like, oh, I'm not listening to a guitar part you thought was cool. I'm listening to your thoughts. You know, he was that good and connected to his guitar. Like I was reading his biography when I was in high school, and I remember. Now I don't know how true this is. But like I want it to be true, so it is. But no, apparently he would always play a right-handed guitar strung opposite and play it lefty.
Right. And he took that actually from Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and yeah, I mean he did. There's nothing else to say. He did.
And the suicide thing too.
Yeah, and but
heroin.
Okay. But no, so he would play the right-handed guitar strung backwards and would play it lefty. And according to the book I was reading, which is called House, I want to wait. Sorry, I don't mean to.
You should be fucking mortified, honestly. I mean, like, it's
a pretty fucking Room Full of Mirrors.
How do you not remember that? It's a great name.
My dick. That's wow.
I mean, you got to think drugs. Jimi Hendrix, Room Full of Mirrors. Perfect. It's right there. It's right there.
And actually, bringing up Kurt Cobain, because there's a lot of Nirvana books that are just, you don't need to fucking check them out. Go read Heavier Than Heaven. That's the Kurt Cobain book I read in high school. That was fucking amazing.
Nice.
Heavy. Although I think they took some liberties with certain things, because in that book, there was a part where they're talking about him killing himself. And they're like, he walked in, he took a sip of the root beer, and he put it
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
and like,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, you're giving too many details to his suicide. I
What
don't.
kind of root beer?
Yeah, just stop. Like they're like, he took an ounce full of root beer into his mouth, and you're like, just stop. You're giving too many details that you could not possibly know.
Yeah.
I guess there could have been an open root beer can, but it still felt like they were taking way too many liberties. But
Yeah.
no,
But, you know,
the
Courtney didn't set that down when she found the body, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Instead of, "Oh my god, I can't even finish my root beer. I'm gonna set it right here."
oh god, you know I always need a root. You know I always need a root beer after I murder my husband.
Well, allegedly.
No, I actually don't think she did. I think they
CIA.
paid. No, I was watching a good documentary about it, and they made a convincing argument where they actually paid their nanny, who was just one of their their drug addict friends.
Yeah.
They paid their nanny to kill him and make it look like he killed himself.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think Kurt Cobain technically killed himself, but I still think he was suicidal and wanted to die. So it's like, he's like, I can't kill myself. All I have is this shotgun. Can you shoot me in the face, heroin addict nanny? And he's just like, yeah, man, I'll fucking kill you, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'll fucking kill you, Kurt.
So you're talking about the drummer from Jimi Hendrix being amazing.
So the drummer from Jimi Hendrix would play a left-handed guitar backwards, and but the reason he strung the right-handed guitar backwards is he would because he was left-handed and he would practice it left-handed. But if he heard his dad coming in, he'd quick take it and flip it and be like, "I'm just playing right-handed, Dad." And he actually tried to like figure out how to play it like right-handed but strung backwards, because he said apparently if his dad caught him playing the guitar left-handed, he'd beat him. Which, you know, that was probably because Kurt Cobain or Jimi Hendrix was born in like the 50s, I think, 40s or 50s, and I guess
yeah, that's
I guess playing the guitar left-handed was the devil's work, and you had to get fucking beat up.
Yeah, I think that's a situation.
Yeah, 42. Sorry,
he was born in 42. Yeah, so that was like when being left-handed was still like you're evil or you're wrong. It's like weird. Like that's fucking. So he's
learning the guitar. He's learning the guitar in 1950, and if you play left-handed guitar in 1950, you're the devil. So I understand why he got beat.
I gotta say, man, there's a weird thing with black people thinking being left-handed is weird.
Is that
like in the 50s, like that's like really you're gonna not accept somebody? Like, don't you like? I mean, it's happening right now, like the segregation and everything like that. Like going into the 60s and shit like that. That's a weird thing to be like not accepting somebody because of like. I guess maybe they were thinking like you can't be black and left-handed. Christ, what are you doing?
He's like, God damn it, Jimmy, you're already black.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like, so now I totally talked myself into it. I see. Sometimes we have to talk ourselves to understand, talk it out. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand how you could be like, oh God, like why? That's such a weird thing it's such an interesting thing for a black person growing up in America to hate another black person to be left-handed and just be like, God damn it.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Nothing in this world.
Except for the thing of like just being, I just want my son to be right. You know, I want you to play left-handed guitar in secret.
You know what's funny? It actually, like, I don't know the history of people's opinions on left-handedness, but it actually doesn't surprise. Like, Steph was watching this documentary about the first woman who ever ran a marathon, and she actually wasn't registered to run the marathon because they wouldn't let women run marathons because they were like, you can't run that far, your pussy will fall out. You know, it was like shit. It was like shit like that.
What about your ovaries? You're gonna mix all your eggs up and they're gonna be scrambled. See?
Yeah, you're gonna have that pussy up there. If you run too much, it'll just jostle out and you won't be able to make a baby.
Yeah, you're rotten womb.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing.
But no. So in the documentary, the chick, she was like, "All right, fuck y'all. I'm just gonna run in the marathon." She's like, I think she managed to like steal a number or something. and then like covered her hair up to try to like look like a dude or something like that. I can't remember if she did that or not. I might be filling in those blanks, but either way, she goes, sneaks into the marathon when it starts running it, and then they realize she's in it. And there's literally race organizers in like fucking pea coats running after her, being like, "Stop, bitch, stop! You're pussy.
Stop
It'll
running,
fall out."
God damn it! You're a woman, you son of a bitch! And they can't catch her. It's like
so. I could see the black population still reeling with the centuries effects of slavery, and it just somehow translates into like, you can't have a left hand, son.
You just can't be left-handed. Damn it!
You can't be left hand, son.
It's wrong.
Son.
I think that's an interesting thing. Like to not allow women to run. There's no conceivable reason to, aside from just being like, women, God damn it, your place is in the kitchen. But I don't even understand why women and men can't play base. Why don't women play baseball? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why are I don't understand
it's probably
why.
it's probably for the same reason that like the fucking WNBA is subsidized. It's just, I'm not trying to be a dick. People don't want to watch women play sports as much.
But no. I'm saying, like, why can't they play with men? Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's no it's a non-contact sport. Why the fuck can't women play baseball with men? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not trying to be progressive. I'm saying it's stupid not to like, it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes it's. I mean, it's the same reason they can't play in any of the other sports.
What? No, it's not. Like I'm saying,
Yeah,
with basketball, with baseball, those two sports in particular, there's no reason why women can't play with men.
No, that's not true at all. Here's the thing. It's the exact same reason for every other sport, but this sport just happens to have a lot less contact, but it's the exact same reason. They're just like, with the way that their bodies are structured, and they don't have as much, like they don't have
patriarchy. Okay, I got it, Andy.
Well, no, it's like that shit where dude, like they did it where what the fuck? No, someone asked the exact same question about like tennis. They're like, why don't the women? It's not contact. Why don't the women play men in tennis? And like I think Serena Williams, someone was like straight up like, was like, or maybe it was John McEnroe. I remember people were coming at him.
I remember that,
because he was like, dude, he's like the 400th placed college kid would beat Serena Williams. And then people were like, you're sexist. And Serena Williams was like, no, he's right. Like, it just is what it is because of their body. Dude, it's because it's like in the fucking gym. They, like, when we do CrossFit, they like, whenever we have our workout set up, they have suggested weights for the exercise. And the women's version is always a little bit less because they're just, it's just the unfortunate reality of biology, and their bodies are a little bit smaller and shit.
I understand if them being like not as strong, like physically strong, but I'm saying like it doesn't make sense why like they can't, like, not being able to run or to like throw a baseball. Like, it's like throwing a baseball, then you know what I mean? Like, they
look
can't
at
be
it this way.
Sure, make them infielders.
Look at it this way. It's like in the WNBA, like when they do a dunk, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
But like when they dunk in the NBA, you're like, yeah, you should be able to dunk.
Yeah.
So like they can do. It's such a bummer of a conversation to have because it feels like you're just, but it's just like realities of life.
No, yeah, just, I like that was half a real question. Like, it's just like one of those things.
I know. I know it was a real question. I'm just saying, if women played baseball, it would probably just be like, oh yeah, they're the. Feels so shitty. Be like, oh yeah, they're the bad players on the team.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, is it literally just that? But okay, so
they probably wouldn't be. They probably wouldn't be good compared to the men.
This is the issue that I have going forward with even baseball, though. It's the fact that, like, why can't women play baseball? Why are they only relegated to fucking softball? What the fuck is softball? Like, they have like softball leagues and shit like that. Women aren't playing baseball. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that women are kept from baseball. Is it titties? Is it because they can't throw overhand? Is that a thing? And that's a serious question too.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think titties would
It's the
make.
same.
I think titties would make overhand and underhand the same
The same, yeah.
type of difficult.
Unless the release, I think, is at the hip when you're throwing underhand. You stop
You
at
know,
the hip.
you know what my guess is? I'm guessing it's the fact because it's like they've just been doing softball forever, and
Like it just hasn't changed.
my guess is they're like, well, they're not going pro. So
You're right.
what does it matter if we change this? We've already been doing this the whole time. What would it matter if we changed it? That's my guess. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah. I guess I can. That makes sense. I mean, just to say, like, if there's not going to be, I mean, they have a WNBA. You would think that maybe they would try to have a WMLB.
Well, and honestly, too, apparently, now I don't know the ins and outs of this, but apparently, like the WNBA gets heavily subsidized by the actual NBA, and the WNBA is probably, well, actually, women's soccer is probably pretty popular. I don't know, but all that seems fucking forced and fake anyway.
It really does.
But I think the WNBA is the most popular like American women's sport. So I think when the most popular American women's sport is subsidized by the male version of that sport, and then if you're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the most boring game in sports and we're gonna make it broads. There's gonna be a lot of people being like, how quickly can I say no to that?
Yeah. Wait, so is this like a you mean like the Gina Davis movie, or what are you talking about? Like, is this like Gina Davis?
You talking about League of Their Own?
Yeah.
Well, that's because all the men had to go die in war.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh my God, is something awful happening?
Yeah, Pat.
Like, no. We're just trying something new. You're like, yeah, but are you going to send me to war? What's going on here?
You brought up an example where they were forced to have women.
And it was very popular. They were still coached by a man. There's still somebody at the wheel.
Because there was no other option.
All the men were dead.
All right, we gotta wrap it up. This has been a good episode. Just a good old fucking bro hang chit chat.
Yeah, that was awesome news that you shared with me. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Hey, thank you for hearing it. Guys, gals, everyone in between, thanks for hanging the fuck out. We'll see you next time. Be about it. Peace.